Okay, so now we're going to start talking about linear equations. So far, you've probably had students working on graphing these slope-intercept problems. So the reason we have this formula is because it makes it easy to graph. So when we're not at least trying to graph, we have equations in standard form. Ax plus by is equal to c. Those b's are not the same. It's just the format of the equations. And this format is typically how word problems are going to be set up. Okay, you have to identify what the variables are going to be. So flying with the wind, so by the way, as you read left to right, with means it forces the plane to go faster. So this is going to be a plus sign. So we're talking about find the speed. So we've got the wind speed plus the plane speed. So this is the rate of the plane. This is the rate of the wind. You add those two together, and that's the rate. All right. So when it's this trip, there's going to be two equations. You're going to have the plane speed flying with the wind, and that total speed is 357 miles per hour. All right. Well, on the return trip, and the reason why this is important, flying into, meaning you're flying against the wind, that means there's going to be a subtract. So it's the plane speed subtract the wind speed because it's a force on the plane that slows it down. So we're going to have the plane speed going into the wind, and that speed, so now see it's only 283 miles per hour. Well, what we have now is we have a system. I don't know why I wrote plural. And then what you can show students is now that we've got these two equations, if we look vertically, kind of like, in second grade, maybe even first grade when you were doing addition, you were adding vertically. Well, what we want to know is what is the speed of the wind and what is the speed of the plane? We've got these two equations. If we add vertically, 1p plus 1p, there's 2p. Positive w and negative w, those are going to cancel. And when you add these two together, what do you get? You get, I just lost my ink for a second. Looks like 640, maybe. All right. And then divide both sides by 2. So the plane speed is 320 miles per hour. Perfect. So but we still need to know the wind speed. Well, we take one of these original equations, and I always take the one that's easier. So the P plus W is equal to 357. We can now use the substitution method. We can insert 320 for the P, and then get the W by itself. Again, when I'm talking to you like you're a student, that's not my intention. I know that you know this stuff. I'm just kind of modeling what I would explain. And so it looks like the wind was moving at a rate of 37 miles per hour. Now, this is important. You still want to have a solution. A solution on any of these systems is a coordinate point, And typically what I tell kids is I tell them kind of like XY is alphabetical, plane speed will serve as the X, wind speed will serve as the Y, and there you have it. And then, by the way, if there's one solution, this is called a consistent system and independent, meaning you have one line going one way, one line going the other way. Those two lines are not dependent of each other, so independent and consistent because there is one solution. All right, that's it for this one.